It's your business to see that the ladies get a swell dinner. Give them something to talk about.
Ladies?
Of course there'll be ladies. Haven't I just told you? Winter, you've had dinner with the knobs in your day. You're sure everything's all right?
Oh, yes, Mr. Flasky. I've arranged for some rather good wine. I've decanted a good
You take
claret.
care of that. I know nothing about it.
Would you like me to ask Madame whether...
You'll ask me, Mr. Winter. Never mind about Madam. I run this house.
Settle it between yourselves.
Now, what's the matter?
This little slattern said I was put away for kidnapping.
So you were. Stop sniveling and tidy yourself. You've to open the front door and serve the Madeira.
Give them their pink slips. Send the lot back to the Crown Office and get a new bunch.
I can manage them.
Oh, good evening. I hope I'm not disturbing you. I was trying to find my way in. Good evening, Mr. Flasky. Your front doorbell wouldn't ring, so I had to come round this way. And very strange thing.
Glad to see you. We'll go through the dining room if you don't mind.
Good-looking collie there.
Quite a party you're having tonight, Mr. Flasky. Winter.
Yes, sir?
Mrs. Flusky. You should know better.
Good evening, Mr. Rigg. Good evening, Mrs. Smiley.
Good evening.
Oh. May I introduce the Reverend Mr. Smiley, Mr. Rigg, our resident engineer.
Mrs. Smiley bid me tell you how distressed she was to be unable to accept your kind invitation. She isn't very well, you know, and Mrs. Rigg most generously offered to sit with her for the evening.
That's right. My wife is most disappointed. I think you know, Mr. Plasky, that Mrs. Rigg is very partial to a life of gaiety.
Follow me, gentlemen.
I trust your wife's indisposition isn't serious.
Oh, no, indeed, sir, no. Mrs. Smiley is not very strong, but she has remarkable powers of recuperation. I find it difficult to express, Mr. Flusky, the deep appreciation which the Church feels at your gift of the baptismal font. Be perfectly assured the Lord will bless the giver.
And how do you like Sydney, Mr. Adair?
Oh, I like it very much. I admire in particular the bandicoot, the rock wallaby, and the duck-billed platypus. Don't take this preference as implying any dedication of the spiny anteater, the cockatoo, or even the frilled lizard. There's always the kangaroo, Mr. Rigg, always the kangaroo.
I didn't mean that exactly. I meant the society.
Is there any?
Well, maybe not much. Nice town, but not much society in it. I never think of these things, but it's hard on the wife. Is the governor going to entertain much?
I haven't a notion.
I hope you'll bear the name Rigg in mind. Rigg's the name. Mrs. Rigg. She's a lady, you know.
Oh, I'm sure she is.
A refined woman finds time hang heavy on her hands in a place like this. I'd like you to meet her.
And I should be enraptured to meet Mrs. Rigg.
Refinement counts for a lot, but it's handicapped in a way.
Yes, it must be. Does it? Ah, my dear sir, how are you? Mrs. Wilkins sends her sincerest compliments. She's quite heartbroken. A terrible disappointment. She's absolutely prostrate, one of her headache. It's very much on my conscience that I had to leave her, but I absolutely had to meet your distinguished guest. Mr. Wilkins. There seems to be a grave epidemic among the ladies of this city.
Well, sir, it's difficult to be.
Mr. Adair, this is Major Wilkins. He's the commandant of the prison.
Most happy to meet you. And how does the governor find himself after his voyage from England? In excellent health, thanks. That's good, that's good. He won't remember me, but I was Assistant Provost Marshal when he was on Wellington staff. I do hope he's going to inspect the prison soon. It's a disgrace to the colony. I wouldn't keep a pig in my quarters. Are you a connoisseur of pigs? What? Oh, no. I don't want to keep pigs. I leave that to the Irish. Oh, I beg your pardon, sir. You're an Irishman yourself, aren't you? Yes. And so is the governor, isn't he? Yes. A great race, fine body of men, great gentlemen, great soldiers. I do hope you'll drop a word to Sir Richard about the prison. It really is a scandal. Oh, my cousin is most interested in scandals. I'm sure you'll find him sympathetic.
Flusky, I was terribly distressed. I hardly dare look you in the face. But unfortunately, my wife was detained at the last moment. Mr. Adair, I presume. I am Dr. McAllister.
How do you do?
I'm late, I'm afraid. Sorry my wife couldn't come. Detained at the last moment.
I understand perfectly. Mr. Corrigan, the Attorney General, Mr. Adair.
Honor.
How do you do?
I had the honor to meet your father once when I was on circuit. He wouldn't remember me.
Miss Billy.
Young fellow at the time.
Oh, I'm sure he'd remember you.
Was I right?
Not a blasted one. Where is she?
I'll go off and see.
Don't let her come down.
I won't. You'd better start. Dinner's served.
You're a father yourself, perhaps? No.
Bring your wine in with you. Dinner's ready. We may as well get it over, Mr. Adair.
Charming fellow, the governor. I had quite an interesting chat.
Follow me, gentlemen.
I told him a very funny story about a fellow. How is our patient? I hope she's sleeping better.
Well enough.
Guy laughed. Oh, great sense of humor. A good soldier.
My wife sends her apologies.
Nonsense about it.
Apologies seem to be in the air tonight. You'll find your place cards. Well, we all needn't sit here like a row of milestones. Move down to this end, please.
Would you wish me to say grace now, Mr. Flasky?
Eh? Yes, please.
Bountiful Jehovah, we thank thee for thy mercies which we are about to receive. Mercifully grant that we, by them being nourished, may be better enabled to perform all duty and service due unto thy divine will. Amen.
I suppose you're having a mail. I beg your pardon, Major. Well, I was about.
Please be seated, gentlemen. I hope I'm not too late to take a glass of wine with you.
My wife, gentlemen. Lady Henrietta Flusky.